What's going on? So with start of the new year, the end of the old, we have that one scary man that we still have to play with from last year, and that's the Uncle Sam, the tax man. So in this little video, I figured I'd show you how I structure my business as far as preparing write-offs, um, and kind of how I set that up so that way I don't have to get stressed with it at the end of the year. I know that's what a lot of guys do. They just pile up all the receipts. That's not the way to do it. Every year I try to implement something new to make my life easier when it comes to paperwork, because let's face it, no one wants to do any paperwork. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the laptop and show you my new templates that I did create for this year that I'm going to try. And I used to still actually use, pen and paper. I'd go on a spreadsheet, kind of just get a rough one, print it out, and then fill it in as I go. So this year I decided I'm going to keep everything electronic, do everything on the laptop. I bring it with me every single day anyways, so might as well try to limit the paper intake that I have, because I keep everything, as should you if you are any type of business owner, if you are, employed for yourself, or if you're just, in a field like mine with truck driving where you have a lot of write-offs. So there's a lot of ways to limit the amount of money you got to pay Uncle Sam. You gotta, spend money to make money. You gotta have money to earn money. Whatever saying and cliche thing you want to go with, it's kind of unfortunately all true. So you gotta spend it. I'd rather spend it on myself than I would give it to somebody else, like the government. So, with that being said, I figured I'd pull up the laptop. We'll go through. I'll show you guys how I do it, what I used to do. Actually, to show you what I used to do, let me get some of this stuff out of the way. Wasn't really all that prepared for this. By the way, my little desk here. Things you got to do in a truck. All right, so here is my new revised current setup here. As you can see, for January. So up here, I labeled this out. Now I use, like I said, LibreOffice. It's free, same thing as Windows or Microsoft Office. I like it actually a little bit better. Don't have no issues, blah, blah, blah. That's a whole other thing. We won't get into that. So anyways, this is how I have mine laid out. Now, this is a little bit more, I added a little bit more this year to try to limit myself from flipping back and forth between settlement statements and stuff like that. Want to try to just take care of things weekly and or daily. Mainly the only things I take care of daily is fuel and def as I do it. Mileage, since whenever I kind of revised this, I didn't start my mileage from the beginning. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my original miles from when I started the month, and then I'll probably just do it at the end of the month whenever I shut down on the last day, and then just do the monthly total on that. But off topic there, here's how I set it up. Just pretty simple. Any type of normal spreadsheet. I did 1 through 31 the whole way down. And then across, I left my box for the month. Then I have fuel, def, mileage, miscellaneous, which will be pretty much anything else I purchase out here other than food and the other items that I have itemized. So everything from, if you buy a new headset down to staples for your stapler. Anything you use for work out here on the road is essentially a write-off. So without making, my accountant loses mine by itemizing absolutely every little thing, I created the miscellaneous tab, which covers all of those. Fluids over here would be such as washer fluid, oil, coolant, etc. Bank fees, I don't like using my bank cards or my credit cards out on the road. I have now been attempted to be hacked 3 different times. So it's just easier rather than me, running out of cash and then still having to use an ATM somewhere. I just get cash advances from the company that I'm at. I can take out however much I want. Just comes out of my following week's statement.
So there is a processing fee, obviously, for that. So that is basically what those fees are. And also, of course, if I do have to use the ATM or anything like that, you know, in a certain situation, so be it. But bank fees, that's what that entails. Load revenue. So this is my 77% numbers there. Surcharge would be my fuel surcharges. I tally those up once a week also. Truck washes, showers, if I do actually pay for them. I mainly fuel at Love, so most of mine are free, but there are the occasions where I don't get to that, so I pay for a shower. It ain't that big of a deal for me. Maintenance is strictly things that break and or parts I obviously buy and put onto the truck. So this would be anything from shop receipts to, you know, whatever I purchase, you know, fuel filters or whatnot that I change on my own. All that goes under maintenance. Fuel tax, that's the new thing that started this year with these guys. We now get it charged monthly. So I created the tab just for that one. The escrow balance, I have an escrow set up with the company I work for. So all I really want that for is just to see actually how much money I put into my escrow by the end of the year. Always, I'm curious. I mean, I keep track of my maintenance, so I know where the money goes, but I never know how much I actually put in there at the end of the year. So that's just mainly a statistic for myself, but I did want it on there this year. Tolls, pretty self-explanatory. And then this will be the only time it'll be on for January, but that is my plate tag. So this is kind of the, I guess, for now, final revised version of my monthly sheets that I tally up. So this is my quarterly sheet. Now, this is the one where I have my monthly ones. Obviously, every quarter I will total up all of those, well, all of these, and put them in the corresponding quarter box. So pretty simple, quarter 1, 2, 3, 4. I do want to put total here. Look at that, you guys even helped me complete this. So this is my finalized form. This is what I will end up giving my accountant. So other than fuel def, the other ones would be truck payment, my insurance for truck and trailer. I get charged a service fee for using their e-log per month. Pre-pass, there's a service fee for having that. I have pre-pass and easy pass. Trip pack, which is for scanning in bills. If you're a truck driver, you know what that is. Tolls, wash, maintenance, bank fees, shower, cell phone. If you did not know, you can write your cell phone off. Tools, which would just be, I probably could just throw that underneath miscellaneous, but I do like to itemize that just to see kind of for myself. And also for some reason my accountant told me the one time to separate tools. Not really sure why. Don't know if that's a tax exempt type deal or what goes on with that. But, you know, tools would be self-explanatory. Any type of tool I need to buy out here to do a job or just to buy it. Hence, you know, some of my house tools may or may not end up on here. We'll leave that alone. There's miscellaneous meals. Some things have changed. I used to have per diem on here too. Per diem is pretty much gone out the window. Owner ops can still claim it, but it's like a gray area. I guess from what I understand, this kind of started last year with that. So meals, you get a fixed allowance as far as what the federal government deems you to, you know, be allowed to spend. So I take that allotted amount, and how you write off in taxes, unless that has also changed again, you get to claim 50% of your meals. So I think normally it worked out to be almost, I always rounded down on that. So we'll just say last year I think I based it off $6,000. So I actually wrote off each quarter. Or how did I work that? Yeah, I broke it down per quarter. So I think I figured up it was like $6,000. So then I cut it in half and I wrote off $3,000. I believe. I'll have to double check. Don't call me. I either wrote off $2,000 or $3,000 per quarter for meals. Let's see what else. Permits. Permits will be everything from, for me being flatbed, I do haul oversize. So it'll be everything from oversized permits to like New York hut tags and any type of per se permit like that. Parking for overnight parking, because I'm not ashamed or afraid to do that when I need to, and it also comes in handy for whenever I'm running late and I know there's going to be no spot for me at midnight. $22.90 tax, that happens once a year, which normally happens at the beginning, but last year they ended up taking that out of me, I believe, in November. And last year it was $1,555, $1,555 for that. Hotels, again, I have it on here right off. It's random. Doesn't happen a whole lot. Whether I break down, I usually end up with the hotel. Or sometimes if I just been out and I'm just tired of being in the truck, I'll just get a hotel just to not lose my sanity. Rental cars, again, rare thing. Trailer payment, that's at the bottom because whenever I already made this I've had for a couple years now, this setup. So whenever I did create this, the trailer I just got last year, so just had to add that on. And then, like I said, the fuel tax also changed. Now that we're doing it monthly, I threw it on here to make it easier. I don't know if I'll be adding anything else. As of now, this is, the running format that I'm going to go with. The other thing that some guys don't know that it also is 100% write-off is if you move at all that year, you can write off your moving expense. That would be if you rent a U-Haul, the price of the U-Haul, any supplies you needed, boxes, fuel from point A to point B. Did not know that.
The other point I wanted to bring up was the types of write-offs, what you can write off, what you can't write off. If you're never a truck driver, anything that you buy out here is 99% of the chance it's more likely a write-off. Your food, all the fluids you buy for your vehicle, such things, anything that you can use, have a reason to use for a business could be a write-off. You want to buy a new laptop, you need that for prep work and everything else, you can write that off. Accessories for the truck, anything you buy from switches to chrome to CB radios to Bluetooth headsets, a new phone, all of these things are write-offs. Keep all your receipts. Anything that you do out here on the road is a write-off. Hotels, food, things that are not, which should go without saying, but tobacco products, alcohol, those kind of things are not write-off. But yeah, that's just kind of a little short general idea of the types of write-offs you can use at the end of the year if you're an owner-op, if you are new to this and don't know. Get an accountant to do your taxes. I prefer, there's probably some guys that would prefer their accountants take care of all of their expenditures and everything else. They keep track of all that, which is all fine and dandy, but I'm the type of person where I like to know where my money's going. I like to see it. I want to be able to compare. So I do all that myself. Give myself that little, quarterly cheat sheet per se for the accountant. I take care of all that work for him. All I need him to do is put those numbers in the according boxes on my tax forms and send them in. It's a game of loopholes, and the government is getting real good at limiting those loopholes. But if you started right from the get-go, always making sure that you're not lying about anything that you're writing off, or that you have receipts to back up everything, as long as you have a dependable accountant that you can trust, then you shouldn't have to worry about it if you do get off. All right, so now you've seen how mine's structured. You have basically you have the blueprint to go out, and then you can make and list whatever you want on yours. It does not have to be just like mine, obviously. I'm sure there's a lot of other people that want to itemize more out, which is fine. Depending on who your accountant is, whether you have a PCA or if you get H&R Block or something like that. It's all going to just depend on the person and their situation, and also what type of work they do. This is more based around for the truckers out there that are either lease purchase guys, owner ops, new to all of the ever-changing write-off world. We don't get per diem no more. Meals got weird as far as for the write-off. There's something especially if you're on the company driver side, kind of just screwed. You don't get the write-offs at all no more, especially, you know, taking away per diem. That hurt the company side drivers big time. I don't know if you got any questions or, you know, want any ideas as far as, you know, something you didn't understand or what I might do in more detail. I mean, feel free to get a hold of me, you know, comment down below, email, whatever. Hope this kind of helps somebody. You know, paperwork is key. Keeping track of all your things, because if you forget something, two things can happen. One, you're leaving money on the table that you shouldn't either have to pay or that you can get back. Or two, it's something that Uncle Sam might catch, and the first time you get audited, you're done. You're pretty much going to be on a special little list, and even if you pass through that, you know, audit and everything went fine, you had all documentation and whatnot, you're just going to be on the radar. Okay, I'll break this down a little bit too. There's even some things with write-off wise that I leave out because there's a sweet spot that you want to get to. You don't want to show that you didn't make no income, because then how would you survive? And you don't want to always show that you have some kind of major loss, because how are you still in business? So I hope that helps some of you. This is, you know, just a little guideline, something, you know, maybe to get your brain working and, you know, get a system for yourself. I mean, that's the idea. You got to keep up on the paperwork. You got to get a system for yourself, and you got to stick with it. Them days off you don't want to do nothing, you better do your paperwork. Keep up with it. You don't want to get behind, because you're going to forget things. Things are going to get lost, and it's just not worth it. That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. You got any questions, feel free to reach me any way that I have listed. Until then, I'll see you on the next one.